All right, so we're going to start tonight's meeting. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded by Marshfield Community Television. Michael, do you want to give us a vaccination and COVID-19 testing clinic update?
And Town Administrator's Report all in one?
Perfect, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, Mr. Chairman, thank you. Weekly meeting, I had my weekly meeting with PMA on police and DPW project. We're discussing the demo of the police station, asbestos abatement, shower issues with sloping, the solar projects, painting the wall blue in the EOC, DPW fill needed for the project, delivery schedule for phasing, A, B, C, and D. August 24th, sections A and B are being delivered. DPW Eversource easement for right-of-way. Had a meeting with Rob Corley on the Veterans House with Karen and Lisa to work on improved communications between NeighborWorks and our Veterans Office. Meeting with the Board of Health, Police, and Fire on opioid remediation funds from the settlement. Funds to be used for the following purposes: opioid use disorder treatment, support people in treatment and recovery, connection to care, harm reduction, address the needs of criminal justice involved persons, support pregnant women and babies with neonatal abstinence syndrome, parental misuse of opiates, and prevention education. Working on code of conduct for all town buildings for our residents with Danielle, our HR director. Had a meeting with Craig Jamison on summer concerts at the Town Green and Coast Guard Hill. Participated in the advisory board meeting with Ian Bastille and Lisa Clark regarding the end of the year transfers to close out our budget. Meeting with North River Art Society regarding continued renovations of their building, which is a town building, with Fred Russell, an application for additional funds from CPC. Weekly meeting with Fred Russell on maintenance issues affecting both schools and general government, safety protocols at the Amesway School and South River School, tree removal at Daniel Webster School, roof on Martinson School, PV projects for all schools, roof for the Comfort Station in Brant Rock, and town hall renovations. Meeting with Fred Russell, maintenance director, regard RFP submission for walkthrough of the dog park. Meeting with Danielle and Fred regarding interns for electronic copying the DPW maps from the vault for storage. Lunch with Bill Grafton and Joe Ring to discuss some ongoing conservation issues. Meeting and walkthrough on dog park site with Tom Reynolds, Greg Guimont. Tom will get back to us with well placement and shed. Meeting with Sue Karen regarding appraisal on some land for potential purchase by the town. Meeting with solar company Next Grid for schools and administration building with Tom Miller to move forward on the school projects. Department head meeting at the Ventress Library. FY22 budget process, morale, clinic update, COVID policy, records management, destruction, dog park update, training for staff, clerical union reviews, accrual, end of the year recap. Notice sent to newspapers, WATD, MCTV website, and on cooling at the Library Senior Center for this week past and for today. Meeting with Andrew Stewart on building department issues, police project commissioning items to be reviewed, air conditioning and bathrooms at the police station, DPW building project meeting, photovoltaic project, electric charging stations at the new DPW, Eversource gas extension, Eversource extending primary power to building. Meeting with Cindy Castro, Chair of the Historic Commission, regarding the repair and renovations of the blacksmith shop located at the Winslow House, need for an RFP to be drafted. Meeting with Select Person Fiddler regarding some town issues. Participated in after-action meeting at the EOC regarding the Levitate concert, and we talked about the Marshfield Fair as we prepare for that. Participated in a Conservation Committee meeting regarding the following project: the Pratt Farm cleanup, library generator and pad, Cornhill Lane Conservation, Couch Beach, BSA Troop 101 geocache project. Had a meeting with Lara Brayton, Chief Tavares, regarding Pocket Park furniture at library on Grassy Knoll. Furniture donated by the Chamber and be installed on Tuesday, July 26th. DPW to clean grassy area on July 25th. Notice of cooling stations for Monday was sent out today. Participated in opening of cleaning bids on July 21st. That is my town administrator report. And if you'd like, Mr. Chairman, on the clinic, As of right now, we've had 1,425 vaccines administered. We're averaging about 10 to 15 patients per day. We've seen a slight uptick as the COVID's positivity rate has increased. We're now seeing an increase in people on walk-ins and appointments. We've been open a total of 33 days on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 3, and like I said, 1,425 shots. Starting tomorrow, 7/26, we will be now offering Pfizer vaccine to 5 to the 11-year-old group, and those folks can either do appointments or they can show up and do a walk-in, and we continue to hand out home test kits to all patients. And those are the reports, Mr. Chairman.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, thank you.
All right, so the first item, I think we're going to give folks some more time to kind of review and digest and break that down.
Okay.
So if nobody has any issues with that, I'll just go ahead and make the motion that we're just going to push it to the August 22nd meeting, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, I'd just like to say thank you for taking the time to do that. I know you took a first stab at it. I think that's great, and I do appreciate doing that, and I look forward to working together as a team to get this done. It hasn't been done in, what, 20, Michael, maybe 22 years? I think I saw 2000 on it in 1999.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
So, yeah, it's time for a review.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, takes a village.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to add, Lynn?
No,
Okay. All right,
that
so
pretty much sums it up.
yeah, right.
20 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I'm going to make a motion to postpone debate, discussion, and revisions of this matter until the August 22nd, 2022 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, awesome. So next up, for the first time in a long time, Marshfield's going to have two different ballots because we now have two state reps. So this item is just approval of the warrant for the September 6, 2022 state primary ballot for all precincts. Do you want to give us kind of a quick rundown, Michael?
Sure, so this is very standard with the primary coming up on the 6th of September. The clerk needs to go ahead and publish this. You'll see on here that it's for all precincts, and we have a new precinct, so we have Precinct 1, Precinct 2, Precinct 2A, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The election will be held at the Marshfield High School Gymnasium, and that is the state primary for governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretary of state, treasurer, auditor, representative in Congress, counselor in the governor's council, senate and general court, representatives in general court, district attorney, sheriff, and county commissioners.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I do not. I'm just putting it in my calendar.
Perfect. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Early registration for that?
We're going to be doing, if I may, Mr. Chairman,
course, yeah.
we're going to be doing early voting. I'm working with the town clerk right now to do early voting. I believe it's the 10 days leading up to the election. She'll have the dates out and everything. I'm working with the Congregational Church to be able to do that. We used that 4 years ago to do early voting. It's right next door. It's close. They have additional parking. Won't interfere. My concern about having it here, 2 years ago they had it at the new DPW while they were renovating the building. This year we're going to be beginning, as soon as all the plans are approved, with the bathrooms and some renovation here, and I don't want it to be disruptive, so we'll have more news to follow, but we'll be doing early voting. And most people have probably over the weekend received a card from the Secretary of State asking if you want to vote by mail-in.
Yeah.
So you have mail-in, no excuse mail-in, no excuse early voting, and of course, if you choose, you can show up at the polls on September 6th.
Awesome. Yep, no excuse voting, but I'm sure there'll still be plenty of complaints. So. How it goes. All right, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
Oh, you covered that one.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the warrant for the 2022 state primary for voting at all precincts 1, 2, 2A, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 at the Marshfield High School Gymnasium from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on the 6th day of September. Is there a second?
I would second that, please.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, perfect. Next up, we have kind of that billboard on Route 3 or 3A, Michael. Do you want to give us the background?
That is correct. On Route 3, you're 100% correct. As folks traverse Route 3, they'll be able to see it on both sides. It's located actually in Marshfield. It was a VRT project of Iraqis, and it was managed by Media Partners MRV LLC, and they've sold and they want to assign the host community agreement that was signed with the previous Board of Selectmen with the town of Marshfield. They now need to reassign that to Outfront Media LLC. So it's before you tonight. Town council has reviewed the necessary paperwork. The last thing that they need is a vote of the board agreeing to the host community agreement being assigned to Outfront Media LLC.
Great, so the bones of the deal are the same, it's just changing it to Outfront
That's
Media in a
correct.
nutshell?
Yes.
Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, that's it. Number 3, I think, is the biggest thing here, page 28, where it says, full force effect, it has not been otherwise amended, modified, supplemented, or superseded. So it's the same agreement we signed before.
Perfect. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Yeah, the permits transfer over to, I'm sure town council took care of that as well. So I think I'm fine.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yep. All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve consent to assign the host community agreement from Media Partners MRV LLC to Outfront Media LLC. Is there a second?
I'll second that, please.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, great. Number 4 we have coming up is a discussion and vote on an annual authorization for the town administrator to sign contracts up to $350,000.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as you know, since you've been on the board a couple of years, it's normally $250,000, but with the cost of everything, contracts keep going up, even for the smallest thing. So I'm asking the board to increase it to $350,000. These are normal operating contracts. Anything over that, then the board votes and the board signs.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, it is a change. I think it's a necessary change at this time. And when you look at the total budget, it is a significant amount of money, but when you look at the total budget of the town, you need to have the flexibility to run day-to-day operations and sign contracts appropriately, so no, I don't.
Yeah, well said. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
I would agree with what Jim just said.
Okay, awesome. All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the town administrator to sign contracts up to $350,000 for the town of Marshfield. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, great. And then number 5, it's a discussion vote on the appointment of an alternate member to the Energy Committee, and this would be Malcolm Gale in particular. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, it's going to be my standard comment. Stephen, we welcome anybody who volunteers. We have about 20 open positions. It can be very rewarding to volunteer for the town, and there's plenty of different areas or specialties for anyone out there. So thank you for volunteering is what I'd like to say.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Again, Jim said it.
Wow, lucky I'm going first, huh?
I'm glad you're going first. Okay.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve Malcolm Gale as an associate member of the Energy Committee. Is there a second?
Second.
And
All
Mr. Chairman, if I may, okay, good.
No, go ahead,
Sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to interrupt, go ahead. Well, before you finish that, so the interesting thing about the Energy Committee has packed attendance, but people still want to serve. Malcolm wanted to serve. I spoke to the chairman, because I conveyed we hate to turn people away, and he agreed, why don't we do an associate member, because we potentially could have people leaving. We got a lot of big projects, it'd be good to have someone up to speed, have like a little farm group.
And
It's always good.
could that apply to any committee where there could
Yes.
be? Okay. Interesting. So you wouldn't have to rework any sort of codification or stuff like that?
It depends, unless it has very specified language. Energy Committee was just that, people to serve in the energy to work on energy projects.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Awesome. All right. So Kate, we seconded that motion, so we're good to go for a vote. Cool. Okay.
You did
Awesome.
second? Okay.
Yep. Thanks. All right. So all those in favor?
Aye.
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 Perfect. All right, we make Kate's job difficult, so we try to make it easier when we can. So, all right, number 6, we're gonna pass over and hopefully circle back to. Number 7 is a discussion and vote on a new appointment to the Airport Commission. So I'll just give a quick rundown on this one. So Jim, this is actually great, your comments on 5, because I was gonna actually say before you said anything that Jim has done a good job of documenting the number of vacancies we have on different boards and committees. So, you know, as Jim noted, we have up to 20 vacancies. So this was kind of a nice, rare exception where we had a lot of folks apply for one opening.
It's like a surprise.
Yeah, exactly. And not only that, but they were a lot of really well-qualified candidates who applied. So basically, you know, I'd kind of floated around and thought about, you know, if we have so many qualified people, we hate to turn folks away. So I was kind of floating the idea of maybe going to 7 if the board, you know, was amenable to that. And so basically they had a meeting last Monday on the 16th and Brian, the chair, just invited me to kind of, float the idea and have a discussion and dialogue and just see what the commission felt. And they were kind of split pretty evenly down the middle. There were some folks who wanted to do it because, again, there were a lot of qualified people and some great, diverse, and applicable professional backgrounds and experience too that would have been great to add to the commission. But they basically wanted some more time to mull it and think it over. So I figured, hey, we'll stick to 5 to now. We'll appoint one person, and we can always revisit it and have more of a dialogue and conversation down the road. But basically, we had 5 applicants, pretty good pool. 3 of them, off the top of my head, had their pilot's license.
Yep.
We had someone who owns a drone company, someone with an engineering background and stuff like that. So basically, because they're not the appointing authority, the way they kind of concluded Monday's meeting was to take a non-binding, symbolic, vote or gesture of support for Paul Van Cowenberg, who is one of the applicants. And Paul is the one who has his pilot license. He's volunteered a lot of time at the airport, and he's got an engineering background too. So he's a mechanical engineer and, works on projects like skyscrapers in the city and things of that nature. So the most recent update that I have based on Monday's meeting on the 16th is that, they were supportive of Paul's, candidacy and application. So it's more important what the majority of the board votes for. So, I would throw my hat in the ring for Paul, and I'll kind of leave off there, and the floor is yours, Jim.
I think this is an excellent candidate. Just it's interesting to read the credentials.
Yeah.
I mean, Massachusetts Army National Guard, helicopter pilot. He's a standardization instructor pilot, instrument flight examiner, aviation safety officer. 10 years he was flight operations officer at the Army Aviation Facility on Cape Cod. He's the state aviation safety officer. I mean,
Yeah.
he definitely has qualifications.
Totally,
So,
yeah.
welcome, that's great. Yeah, I think discussions on board sizes, we can take up a different time. We're just lucky to have, I think, a bench here.
Yeah. It's a good
And
point.
maybe it's an associate, and we stay at 5, but we can figure that all out.
Yeah.
But it's just great to have people volunteering. It's funny how they kind of cluster like an energy in this, and then other ones go for the wanting,
Yeah.
I have a shout out for recreation, some others, because there's some really fun things to do.
Yeah. Well
So,
said.
yeah, that's it, so I'm good.
Awesome. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
I read the letter and, that was signed and sent to us June 17th, 2022. And I was, as well impressed by the credentials of this candidate, and I would support your recommendation and Jim's as well, especially if the commission or committee is in favor. So good luck to him and the other candidates. I hope they stay on the list and help us out in the future for something else, if not this.
Yeah.
Okay? All right.
Yeah, great
Very
point.
good.
And just, maybe a light bulb moment is maybe we can do associate members or explore that just to keep them kind of engaged.
I think the bench is always good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, then, I personally like 5.
Yep.
I think 3 sometimes problematic with open meeting laws.
Yep.
7, sometimes you might have some issues with quorums. You can argue that both ways, I think.
Yeah.
5 seems to be the Goldilocks zone, the sweet zone.
Yeah.
And you have normal transition all the time, so you're always hunting with 7, I've found. So having a bench, I think that would be a great idea for
Yeah.
almost any team we have.
Yeah.
Because they just slide in, they've watched all the meetings, they're up to speed quick.
Totally. It's a great way to train them and groom them too and all that good stuff.
I think it's a good idea.
Like ZBA, for example, they have associate members, and
Yep.
hopefully that helps with the transition when, someone moves on and things of that nature. So that's a really good point. All right. So did you guys have anything else that you wanted to add?
Ready for motion? Second.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I'm going to make a motion to approve Paul Van Cowenberg as a member of the Airport Commission. Is there a second?
Second.
All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. All right, so, 8 and 9 are kind of related. One's an alcohol license and one's an entertainment license, but they're both for the Marshfield Agricultural and Horticultural Society. So, Michael, do you just want to give us the rundown on
Yes,
that?
absolutely, Mr. Chairman. So as folks know, Marshfield Fair is coming up August 19th to the 28th. We're preparing for that. We've been, the EOC, the police, and Artie Shaw have been going over security with the fair and their security force to make sure that we're prepared for the crowds. They're coming before us tonight for temporary all-alcohol license for the Fair Association from the 19th to the 28th to serve alcohol from 12 noon to 10 p.m. And they're also coming before us for a temporary one-day entertainment license for the Marshfield fair that will run August 19th to the 28th, 2022. And the hours of operation for that are 12 noon to 11 p.m. And the reason they need the entertainment license because they will have live music, amplified systems, karaoke, and recorded music with a tent and with food, which requires a sign-off by the Board of Health and Building Department on those two other issues. So the temporary one-day entertainments is pending approval with the Marshfield Police Department, Fire Department, Board of Health and Building. And alcohol, the only thing we need from them is a new copy of their liquor liability insurance.
Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
I was shocked when I was looking at the temporary entertainment license. Estimated number of people is 150,000.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Over 10 days, yeah.
It's still,
Yeah.
that's an amazing
Yeah.
figure. And I also liked on the license for alcohol beverages, it was checked off all alcohol beverages, and it clearly stated out fruity drinks. So maybe you can have a nice,
Menu.
yeah, whatever. So, no, other than that, no, I was just amazed with the amount of people that come into our town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
I know, but all these things putting tiny Marshfield on the map.
I know.
Fabric
We've
of
been
our,
on the
fabric
map.
of our community.
Yes, there you go. Well said.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make the motion for action item 8, which is going to make a motion to approve a temporary all-alcoholic license for the Marshfield Agricultural and Horticultural Society doing business as the Marshfield Fair, for the Marshfield Fair, from August 19th through August 28th, 2022, from noon until 10 p.m. daily. The Marshfield Fairgrounds are located at 140 Main Street in Marshfield. This is pending a copy of their liquor liability insurance, naming the town of Marshfield. Is there a second?
Second for that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Perfect. All right, and then number 9, go ahead and make a motion to approve a temporary one-day entertainment license for the Marshfield Agricultural and Horticultural Society doing business as the Marshfield Fair from August 19th through August 28th, 2022, from noon until 11 p.m. daily for live music, amplification system, karaoke, and recorded music with tent and food. The Marshfield Fairgrounds are located at 140 Main Street in Marshfield, and this is pending approval from the Marshfield Police Department, the Marshfield Fire Department, the Board of Health, and the Building Department. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, number 10 is just a discussion and a vote to waive fees for the Conservation Commission. Do you want to give us the background on that one, Michael?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if I may. So the town is involved with 3 different actions with the Conservation Commission. The first one is a after-the-fact notice of intent for the town of Marshfield, 1837 Ocean Street, for the installation of an emergency generator to serve Library Plaza. As the board remembers, I wanted to make use of the generator from the old police station. It couldn't be used in the new, but the library does not have a generator, and as folks know, we use that for cooling and heating. So we thought it would be important to have the generator there. So we have to go through permitting with conservation, so that's the first one. The second one is a request for determination of applicability, better known as an RDA, Town of Marshfield, 0 Cornhill Lane, Cornhill Woodland, for vegetation management and tree removal. So what's happening is we have a number of conservation parcels in and around the town and neighborhoods. We, just like our neighbors, have to take better care. On this particular parcel, during the storm in January, a number of trees came down. They were dead and hadn't been cared for. They fell into the roadway, about 4 of them. They blocked access, caused power to be out for a long time. So this will, conservation's gonna go in and start cleaning up those conservation lands when we partner up with the neighborhood. Bill Grafton worked hard with the Conservation Commission. The neighbors are partnering up, and they're covering 50% of the cost of doing the tree removal and the cleanup, and then we'll work on either leaving the wood or giving the wood away to people that need firewood. So that's the second project. And the third project is after-the-fact request for determination of applicability, 172 South River Street, for the home and barn demolition of the Pratt Farm. So we've got that all down, we've got it all cleaned up. We have a wetland protection over there, so they're working on those, and they're asking the town to waive the fees because the town is the applicant.
Great, thank you, Michael. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, thank you, sir.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, go ahead and make a motion to waive conservation fees for the following town projects. And after the fact, notice intent for Library Plaza, an RDA for 0 Cornhill Lane for vegetation management and tree removal, and an after-the-fact RDA for the Pratt Farm for home and barn demolition. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 11, Michael, looks like we're looking at some improvements and waiving fees for the South River School entrance and security upgrades.
You are correct, Mr. Chairman. So we're doing some, before kids get back to school, we're doing some security improvements in the entranceway. We've done all the schools. South River is one of the last schools that we're doing it in. And because anytime we do any work, just like any of our residents, we have to pull building permits. So building department's asking that we waive the fee because the town and the schools are the applicant.
And I'm sure, given the world we live in today, a lot of parents will be happy about the security improvements.
Yes, they
and
will.
upgrades. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
None down on yours. Nope.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to waive the building department fees for the South River School entrance security upgrades. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number 12, very exciting. It's a vote on the fee schedule for the sealer of weights and measures. Did you want to add any further context, Michael?
Sure, Mr. Chairman. As you know, we had to appoint our own weights and sealer, and we appointed Robert Egan, who represents Cohasset, Situate, Hull, Hingham, and Norwell. Up until that, the town was doing it. For some reason, they were doing it, they do it as a courtesy for communities under 20,000. Of course, our population is about 27,000, so we now do our own. Once we appointed Rob Egan, one of the things he looks at, we're paying him $5,000, and other communities pay similar to that, depends how busy they are. But one of the ways that we offset that, there's a fee that every city and town has, and I supplied everyone with a copy, and he has the ranges of the fees, and he made his recommendation, which are pretty much in the medium. We're not at the very high spot, we're not at the very low spot, but their fees. So for instance, scales that are 0 to 100 pounds, it's $25 he's recommending here. For scales from 100 to 1,000 pounds, he's recommending $40. Over 1,000 pounds, he's recommending $60. Pharmacies, it's $35. Gas and diesel, gas stations at $30. Marine, it's $50. And vehicle tanks is $50. Those are like cars that transport. You'll see like a pickup truck that works for like an asphalt company that has to go refuel the front end loaders, etc. So those are his, and from the fee schedule, that is what offsets the $5,000.
Got it, okay. And this is the guy who makes sure that when you pay for 10 gallons of gas, you get
You're
your
getting 10 gallons of gas, that is correct.
Perfect.
And, he said what he does, and we'll have some information up. If people go somewhere and they think that there's a problem with the scales, they just need to notify him, and he'll go back out there and check them. But he goes out and calibrates them to make sure that when you buy a pound of bologna, you're getting a pound of bologna, or if you're getting gas or fuel for your boat, or diesel fuel, or home heating oil, or any of those things. So he takes care of that. Everything's really modernized and digital today. If people wanted to, the next time they're in town hall, if they go down to our back hallway, which is actually the front, they'll see a display case that was given out over 100 years ago to all weights and sealers of measures.
Yeah.
And it was the containers that they would have to go out and check the gas pumps to make sure that it filled the bottle properly for a gallon, and then they have the weights to put on the scales. So, little interesting tidbit of information.
Yeah, a little bit of history, a little artifact here in Town Hall. Did you have any questions or comments, Jim?
No, this is similar to peer towns. I know that some merchants probably will, because they're not used to paying a fee structure like this, but it is peer with Situate, Cohasset, Hingham, Norwell.
Yep. Perfect. Any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, he explained that he's going to contact any of them that have questions with the fees and explain the law. And just for the record, Mass General Law, Chapter 98, Section 52 is part of the reasoning, so that's it. No further questions. I think the fees are reasonable.
Great. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the fee schedule as presented by Rob Egan for the town of Marshfield's sealer of weights and measures. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Number 13 is just approving a Hills 5K. It's coming up on September 5th, 2022. Did you just want to give us the background on that one, Michael?
Sure. Dave Will, who's the race director for the Marshfield Hills General Store Run for the Hills 5K, will take place. He's looking for an approval from the board. The race will take place on Monday, September 5th, Labor Day. The race will begin at 10 a.m. on Old Main Street, turn left onto Pleasant Street, and then left on Summer Street, and left again on Prospect Street to finish, and the event in totality should be over by 12 noon.
All right, great. Thanks, Michael. And usually I love saying no to charities, but I'll make an exception in this case, so I have no issues with this one. Any questions or comments, Jim?
No, it's a small nominal fee to participate. My knees won't let me run anymore, but it is going to be a Marshfield Community General Store's discretion, but they're going to be looking at funding a scholarship for a deserving student at Marshfield High School, so
Yeah.
it's a great cause.
It is. And people do surprisingly get nervous that we're going to say no to their charity races, but
Thank you, Marshfield General Store.
Yeah.
I go there all the time.
yeah, we appreciate that they're doing this. Do you have any questions or comments, Lynn?
No, I don't.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the request from Dave Well, who is the race director of Run for the Hills 5K for the Marshfield Hills General Store, that will take place on Monday, September 5th, 2022. The run will begin at 10 a.m. on Old Main Street and finish by noon on Prospect Street, pending approval from the Marshfield Police Department and the Marshfield Fire Department. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and just the last one is some housekeeping, approving the meeting minutes from June 21st, 2022, June 28th, July 7th, and July 11th, 2022. It's a nice batch of 4. Do you have any questions or comments, Jim?
Nope.
Any questions or comments, Lynn?
Nope.
All right, so I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes from the following select board meetings, June 21st, 2022, June 28th, 2022, July 7th, 2022, and July 11th, 2022. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and I'll go ahead and make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.